What if the tool you rely on to make your most important decisions has been broken for generations? Modern culture often misuses discernment as a label for convenience, a way to justify cutting people out or to validate an instant gut reaction. We adopt spiritual vocabulary as a brand, using these words to shield ourselves from the reality of our own personal biases and prejudices. We have stripped a vital human survival tool, turning a rigorous practice into a comfortable excuse for the ego. The historical data suggests we've lost our way. Ancient wisdom traditions from vastly different geographies defined this concept with startling uniformity. In Hebrew, binah; in Arabic, tamiz. Both describe separating things that appear identical. Greek diakrisis and Sanskrit viveka share this definition, judging through a mixture to separate the real from the unreal. Ancient traditions rooted this idea in the agricultural practice of winnowing wheat from chaff. It is the manual, physical action of sorting. This identical definition across 4 major ancient languages proves that true discernment is a deliberate cross-cultural practice of sifting truth from noise. We have to ask why we abandoned this universal map in favor of rapid, unquestioned assumptions. The modern distortion begins when we treat raw intuition as a finalized, discerned truth. Gut feelings are merely raw data, often polluted by unresolved trauma, old fears, or a dysregulated nervous system. Acting immediately on that initial friction executes a biological trauma response, masking a reactive state as a spiritual one. To protect ourselves from this trap, we need a comparative framework to measure the difference between a reactive label and true sifting. False discernment spikes within seconds. It triggers a tense, sympathetic nervous system response, creating a rigid certainty that refuses to be challenged. Real discernment takes significant time. It requires a calm, parasympathetic state and the humility to acknowledge that the conclusion might be wrong. True sifting is impossible while the body is in defense mode. It requires physical stillness and the ego strength to hold conclusions lightly. Because reactivity is our biological default, we must actively train our minds to test our assumptions through a 4-step diagnostic protocol. First, check your physical state. Did you become quieter and calmer before deciding, or louder and more tense? Second, examine your ego attachment. Are you gripping the conclusion like a weapon or holding it gently with an open hand? Finally, audit the speed of the decision and your willingness to update. If new evidence arrives tomorrow, would you change your view? Consistent use of this test is the only way to separate the genuine signal of truth from the loud noise of our own egos. This universal consensus, found in our oldest languages and our shared biology, points to a standard issue human capacity. It is an innate gift from the Creator. Just like any physical muscle, this capacity remains dormant until it is deliberately exercised and trained through use. By reclaiming this ancient inheritance, we return to an original human setting. You are not learning this, you are remembering it. Practice the sorting, train the muscle. Go Team Pro Human.